chapters 28, 29, and 30. Chapter 28. On account of the charges against Athanasius, the emperor convokes a synod of the bishops at Tyre. The emperor had ordered a synod of bishops to be present at the consecration of the church which he had erected at Jerusalem. He therefore directed that, as a secondary matter, they should on their way first assemble at Tyre to examine into the charges against Athanasius, in order that, all cause of contention being removed there, they might the more peaceably perform the inaugural ceremonies in the dedication of the Church of God. This was the 13th year of Constantine's reign, and 60 bishops were thus convened at Tyre from various places, on the summons of Dionysius the consul. As to Marcellus the presbyter, he was conducted from Alexandria in chains under a military escort, while Athanasius was unwilling to go thither, not so much from dread, because he was innocent of the charges made, as because he feared lest any innovation should be made on the decisions of the council at Nicaea. He was, however, constrained to be present by the menacing letters of the emperor, for it had been written him that if he did not come voluntarily, he should be brought by force. Chapter 29. Of Arianus and his hand, which was said to have been cut off. The special providence of God drove Arius also to Tyre, for disregarding the injunctions he had received from the accusers who had bribed him, he went thither disguised to see what would be done. It by some means happened that the events of Archelaus, the governor of the province, heard some persons at an inn affirm that Arius, who was reported to have been murdered, was concealed in the house of one of the citizens. Having heard this and marked the individuals by whom this statement was made, they communicated the information to their master, who, causing strict search to be made for the man, immediately discovered and properly secured him, after which he gave notice to Athanasius that he need not be under any alarm, inasmuch as Arius was alive and there present. Arius, on being apprehended, at first denied that he was the person, but Paul, bishop of Tyre, who had formerly known him, established his identity, divine providence having thus disposed matters. Athanasius was shortly after summoned by the synod, and as soon as he presented himself, his traducers exhibited the hand and presented their charge. He managed the affair with great prudence, for he inquired of those present, as well as his accusers, who were the persons who knew Arius, and several having answered that they knew him, he caused Arius to be introduced, having his hand covered by his cloak. Then he again asked them, "Is this the person who lost a hand?" All were astonished at his unexpectedness of this procedure, except those who knew whence the hand had been cut off, for the rest thought that Arius was really deficient of a hand, and expected that the accused would make his defense in some other way. But Athanasius, turning back the cloak of Athanasius on one side, showed one of the man's hands, again, while some were supposing that the other hand was wanting, permitting them to remain a short time in doubt. Afterward he turned back the cloak on the other side and exposed the other hand. Then, addressing himself to those present, he said, "Arius, as you see, is found to have two hands. Let my accusers show the place where the third was cut off." Chapter 30. Athanasius is found innocent of what he was accused. His accusers take to flight. Matters having been brought to this issue with regard to Arius, the contrivers of this imposture were reduced to perplexity, and Achab, who was also called John, one of the principal accusers, having slipped out of court in the tumult, effected his escape. Thus Athanasius cleared himself from this charge without having recourse to any pleading, for he was confident that the sight only of Arius alive would confound his comminators.